U.S. has fewer mass shootings than previously reported. Over 66% of reported school shootings never happened. And as it turns out, the U.S. does not lead the world in homicides by firearm. These stories and more in this special fake gun news edition of This Week in Gun Rights. A shock 2016 study argued that the U.S. accounted for nearly one-third of all mass shootings, sparking global headlines about the dangers of an American gun culture. But according to John Lott, president of the Crime Prevention Research Center, their data is more than a little sketchy. By his count, the U.S. had less than 3% of the world's mass public shootings over the 15-year period. That's smaller than the 4.6% of the world's population that the U.S. accounts for, and way less than the 31% of global mass shooters that Adam Lankford, a professor at the University of Alabama, claimed in his widely publicized studies. I guess math just isn't this guy's thing. I gotta find this guy whenever I need to make change.
Have you got 2 10s for a 5? Just so happen to have it. That's it. Now, that Elizabeth, I like her. She's a regular scout, that's why.
This past spring, the U.S. Department of Education reported that during the 2015-16 school year, nearly 240 schools reported at least one incident involving a school-related shooting, a number far higher than most other estimates. But National Public Radio this week released their analysis of that study. In it, they revealed it to be a bold-faced lie. Now, they reached out to every single one of the schools repeatedly over the course of 3 months and found that more than 2/3 of these reported incidents never happened. In fact, they could only substantiate 11 of the reported shootings. Turns out, NPR may not be that anti-gun after all.
You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie.
A 2016 poll by Pew Research suggested that there was very little, if any, evidence that many or any people had ever used a firearm in self-defense. Well, Dean Weingarten over at AmmoLand dug a little deeper into their numbers, and he discovered that more than 1 in 6 gun owners have used a firearm to defend themselves or their property at least once in their life. Based on the total number of adults in this country, that would be about 12.5 million Americans.
Now you know the rest of the story.
Finally, while anti-gunners would have us believe that the U.S. leads the world in gun violence, the facts tell a different story. A study published in the Journals of the American Medical Association shows the U.S. is actually not first in the world for percentage of homicides involving firearms. In fact, we're not even second or third. Heck, we're not even fifth. The United States can be found all the way down at number 10 on that list. Now, when CNN reported on the same study, they ignored this fact, as well as the fact that researchers found that the U.S. ranks 30th in the world for total number of homicides with a firearm. And instead, they chose to ignore that data and represent the United States as a leader in gun violence. And they wonder why we don't take them seriously.
I like real news, not fake news. Give fake news. Thank you, everybody.
Well, that'll wrap up This Week in Gun Rights. Please remember to like and share these videos and encourage your friends to do the same. I'm Craig DeLuz with the Firearms Policy Coalition. Thank you for watching.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.